Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we believe that ads are not bad. Ignorance is expensive and the American dream is alive on the internet today. It is Thursday, March 12th, 2026. We're coming to you live from an undisclosed location in the beautiful hills of Austin, Texas. We're brought to you by Incense, Seguno, Postscript, and AMP, and we have a jam-packed show for you today. Homestead Studio has officially been acquired. Zach Stuck will stay on at Easy Street Brands and dominate the interwebs from the Midwest. Congrats to him and everyone involved on getting the bag. Fabletics is launching a line of denim, unexpected, after 1 million of their VIP customers have requested it. Can they make the jump from athleisure to lifewear? We will see. We'll get into it. Jay Castillo, teenage phenom and founder of Cal AI, is going to be joining the show. Especially, they just got bought. Congrats to him. We're going to be talking about all of it. And Andrew Foxwell of Foxwell Founders and Foxwell Digital will be on to talk with us about the state of agencies in 2026 and many other things on the interwebs to come. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get inside this show, Colin.
Let's go. Little Scene Studio shirt. Come on.
You're always looking clean, as expected and as usual. Breaking news today that hit
Crazy.
the timeline. Our friend of the show, even though he hasn't been on the show yet, and I've never officially met him. I have not, but I know him from afar. I know him from afar on X. Zach Stuck, Homestead Studio has been bought. Verndale acquires Homestead Studio, expanding full funnel D2C growth capabilities. Zach had a lengthy post today that we should get into because when one of our own gets the bag, we got to celebrate a little bit. We got to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Zach said this: I started a little marketing agency 7 years ago called Homestead, named after the street I grew up on. I had the vision to build something special. And looking back now, I think we did exactly that. Today, I'm excited to announce that Homestead has been acquired by Verndale, also recently acquired Van Group, in an effort to create a D2C growth platform built to support brands across the entire e-commerce lifecycle. I'm extremely grateful to my business partner, Riley Trotter, for all of the time he's given the company and the incredible work that he's done. Riley took over as CEO a few years ago, and Homestead wouldn't be where we are today without his leadership and pursuit of greatness. He goes on to say that he's extremely proud and thankful for many others. And then thereafter, I can't say enough about my partners, Kelly, Jay Sappington. These two have shown a level of commitment to building this company that's unmatched. Watching them both grow as leaders over the last few years has been nothing short of inspiring. To our current and past team members, thank you for always giving Homestead and our clients 100% of your effort. To all our clients, thank you for trusting us, help you grow your business. Not an easy task, and we never have taken it lightly. And then Zach gives us an update on himself. I'm officially stepping out of the agency business, but as most of you know, I haven't been involved in the company for some time, as Riley, Kelly, Jacob have been and will continue to lead Homestead for years to come. Expect to see more updates on the brands I've been building in weeks to come. So congrats to them on getting the bag. There he is at the door in Wisconsin somewhere as they continue to dominate the interwebs. You know, Easy Street Brands, Hollow Socks, I believe there's a couple of others. Do you know some of the others that are on?
I do.
You do?
I know a couple. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say or not.
Okay, well, I did a little research on the interwebs and discovered a couple other places. Should I say? I mean, am I allowed to say that? I just found them on the internet. No insider info here other than being an astute sleuther. On the webs. Nose Gym. You heard of Nose Gym? Of course, Hollow Socks. Everybody knows Hollow Socks.
Everybody knows Hollow Socks.
Yeah. Nose Gym. Okay, another one. And then thirdly, Mars Men, the most potent and natural testosterone stack on earth. So I've loved seeing this from Zach over the years. They're winning in the agency game. He's stepping out, building brands of his own. It's a great proof case too. Like, hey, we know what we're doing. Look what we're doing over here with our own stuff. And pumped for them to get the bag here and celebrate And so interesting that now, he's already kind of stepped out basically, but now he's just going to focus exclusively on the brands here forward. And what's your takeaway as you see this happen, break out on the timeline? What do you think of this?
Couldn't have happened to a better person. I mean, Zach's been incredible. He's been an operator for forever in the space. I've had the privilege of interacting with Jacob over there, who is a world class operator as well. Zach is obviously shifting a little bit into Easy Street now. I wouldn't be shocked if he launches another one or two brands here in the coming months, which is even more exciting. I love the angles that he's taking with all of these brands, and I absolutely love the branding that's surrounding Mars as well. I think that was an absolute home run that they have there. So it's all up and to the right for him moving forward, and he is, I would argue, one of the most well respected agency owners in the space. Period.
That is most definitely the case.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, he's not an agency owner anymore, but
Not
that's the
anymore.
good news. That's good news.
Not anymore.
That is good news. That's eventually what you want. You eventually want, I mean, most people, they want to
Yeah.
eventually not be the owner because they got the
Yeah.
bag on the way out of the door. I would say usually when it comes to agencies, usually there is a specialty. Usually an agency
Yeah.
has a service that is a specialty. And when you see what Zach has done with Hollow and what they've done with their clients over the years, of course you think acquisition. I mean, all of D2C is really based on how can I get eyeballs to my product or my client's product? How efficiently can I do that? And how efficiently can I get them across the finish line and get a purchase? What I would say is interesting about Homestead over the years is that more and more they have become known for their retention services. For
Exactly.
the work that they've done on the email side has been widely renowned.
Yeah.
And I would say that stands apart. It's unique
Yeah.
inside of our space, not to just be great at one thing, but also to become very well known for another thing as
Yeah.
well. You constantly hear people remark on the quality of the email creative they're putting together and the strategy, etc. Have you gotten that as well as you've been
Absolutely. Yeah.
trans across D2CX?
Yeah, absolutely. And they work with some of the largest, biggest boys in the space as well. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who exactly they work with directly, but it is some of the darlings that you're thinking about in the space when you're thinking, oh, XYZ, they're doing a great job. Oh, their retention's really amazing all of a sudden. Probably because of XYZ. Something just happened.
Yeah, I who threw out a big thank you. There were tons of comments. Zach's announcement is blowing up all over Twitter
Of course.
today. Let's see. It's midday right now. We've got 29,000 views. We got 18 retweets, 19 bookmarks. That's only going to go up and to the right for the rest of the day. I
Yeah.
wanted to make a big acquired card for him, but I was unable to do it. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it
Nice.
happen. I think on the brand side, what I have noticed with him, and this really stands out to me in terms of strategy, and I'm sure it comes from the years of experience on the agency side, the brands that they are developing, and they're very targeted, very
Yes.
targeted. This is not just like a mass product that a lot of people will like. No, they're very specific. I mean, you just go to Hollow socks. These are socks that ultra marathon runners love to use,
Yep.
made of alpaca material. Who ever heard of making socks out of alpaca material? It turns
Yeah.
out there's great benefits to that, but it's the focus. It's the focus. What do we sell? Socks. We sell socks to who? Ultra marathon runners. And they're made of a specific material that sets us apart inside of the category. And I think the Mars product as well, Mars Men to Mars, men go to Mars.com, Mars Men, it's very specific. Natural testosterone enhancement supplement, all of that, and the same with Nose Gym as well. All of that, it gives you a window into the brain and into the team that has been growing their service side, growing their brands. I mean, to me, it's this is simply a manifestation, of what they have been doing and building for years. And who knows? I mean, maybe Maybe Zach keeps Easy Street Brands forever.
Yeah.
Maybe he has another exit before too long too.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have any thoughts on that? I think what they do on the strategy side with their product and the brand side, it just gives a window into the kind of brain power they have working with on the team.
And I would also say the last couple brands that they've been doing, I'm going to say it and you're going to hate it. They have been subscription focused because
I love it. I love it.
They are bringing in the subscription. They see that as the next step for D2C, and they're very good at acquisition. And so if they can just retain those folks because they have an exceptional retention team, this thing just becomes a flywheel and builds onto itself, and you have amazing multiples.
I wonder if they launched Nose Gym and Mars men go to Mars.com, whatever it is. I wonder if they launched that after they got better on the retention side. And I'm not saying they were bad at retention before. I'm just saying they were known for acquisition, and now they are equally known for retention. When it comes to subscription, of course, that's what we all want. We all want to have a subscription brand that's really sells things that are really lightweight that people pay for forever. I just, it's just remarked on so often, that I'm just like, yeah, but what if you just, make a nice hat that people like to buy? But I'm with you. Yeah. We all want a lightweight subscription brand that everybody loves and people buy forever. And hey, maybe we'll see more from
I think we'll see more
acquired side. With Easy Street Brands, who knows? But absolutely. we may have a few more brands get launched as well. We officially, and we have delivered said invite on the Tweeter. And Zach, we want you on the show. Come talk through it. And congrats to the whole Homestead team. Great day to celebrate.
Huge. Great for the community.
I think that we should have like a sound effect at this point. I don't know what it would be, but we need to come up with a acquired sound effect. I think that's
I like it
for the future.
Yeah.
Let's put that in the bag. Okay. Before moving forward to our next story, we need to talk about incense, ladies and gentlemen. Don't we all want better ads? Yeah, we do. And don't we want ads that are actually created by humans and have humans featured in them? I think that's optimal. I think we would all agree with that. Now, the only problem is that process for finding winsome creators, manually negotiating usage rights. My Lord, it's a headache. It's very disjointed. That's why Incense exists. It is the all-in-one UGC and influencer marketing platform that actually gets you creative, that is scalable, and with a process behind it that is scalable. All in one platform, a vetted creator marketplace, automated influencer outreach, built-in campaign management, content delivered in as little as 14 days. So much better than randomly finding a TikTok video that you hope works for you. And I will say they also have a managed service. If you can't make this happen in-house, it's not about just finding a single thing that works. It's about real relationships and working with real creators and getting a process for real creative to scale. Go to incense.pro. They have a free trial. Get on the platform, try it out, test drive that baby today. We are going to have founder and CEO Daniil on the show very soon. They've got a lot of things cooking. They're very insightful for the zeitgeist today inside of e-commerce. Many thanks for Incense being part of the show. Now, Colin, unfortunate news. Another 16,000 layoffs with Amazon. Another 16,000 layoffs.
You just can't catch a break.
You hate to see it. You hate to see
catch a break.
Cannot catch a break. Cannot catch a break. Although they continue to do very well. I mean, great company, doing very well. 50% of all of e-commerce, at least, of all e-commerce searches that happen on the internet happen on Amazon. This comes to us from Tech Layoff Tracker. I'm going to read this post to us. Amazon just confirmed 16,000 layoffs, but sources inside are telling me the real story is worse. Word from 3 different VPs. The 16K number is just phase 1. Internal docs show another 14,000 cuts planned for Q2. A director in AWS walked me through their new efficiency matrix. Entire teams being replaced by 2 to 3 senior managers running Claude Sonnet workflows. Pay attention, everyone. Okay. Yeah. The Alexa division got completely hollowed out. 847 engineers 2 months ago, 23 remaining after this week. All hardware development moved to Bangalore team of 31 contractors with cursor access. Here's the sick part. They're making the outgoing engineers document their entire decision-making process into knowledge transfer sessions. I mean, it sounds bad, but probably normal. That are being
Yeah.
recorded and fed directly into training data sets. One L7 told me he spent his final 2 weeks creating a detailed prompt libraries and workflow documentation. Thought he was being helpful for the transition. Turns out he was training the AI agent. Of course, contractors offshore are using his exact prompts and shipping features 40% faster. Whoa. Shipping features 40% faster than his old team of 12 Americans did. Internal Slack shows leadership celebrating operational excellence while badges get deactivated in real time. They're calling it right sizing for the AI era in the all hands, but the P&L sheets I'm seeing show 280 million in salary savings this quarter alone. The knowledge extraction is complete. If you're at Amazon and haven't started job hunting, you probably should. Okay. A few thoughts on this. I know this is hard. You hate seeing anybody getting laid off, but we've seen this enough that I think reality should begin to set in. I know nobody wants to get replaced by AI agents. Nobody wants to get replaced by talent that is more cost efficient. But Taylor Holiday made this point the other day. If you can hire an AI agent that is wielded by offshore talent who is smart, who is devoted, who has acumen, then whatever that cost is the market cost. That's what the market is. And I know it's uncomfortable. It is. It is uncomfortable, but we are in 2026. We're in March of 2026, and the landscape is changing rapidly. It's changing at a fast pace. The report, the study from Anthropic that Adweek covered yesterday that we had on the show, they estimate 65% of marketing jobs could go away in the next few years. And so I think it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. It's uncomfortable, but the fact is, if you can find talent that is just as smart, that is just as devoted, that can wield AI agents as good or better than you, then that is the market rate. Whatever that cost is the new market rate. Am I wrong? I don't mean to be insensitive, but I'm trying to bring to bear the reality of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too because they did these layoffs with the Amazon vibe coded tool, which is unreal. I'm just kidding. They didn't do that. They didn't do that.
We did cover that story yesterday, though.
We did. Chris, do you know how much an Amazon L7 makes for their salary?
I have no clue, but my guess is that it's a healthy amount.
Give me a guess.
I don't really even know what an L7 is, to be honest.
It's really high up. It's really high up. They've been there for a while.
I'd say probably 250 plus 300.
600.
600?
600 a year. So a bunch of L7s at Amazon just got laid off. They're each making 600K a year.
Whoa.
It's hard for me to, feel bad for them. You know what I mean? I know that sounds terrible, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I think you're still going to be fine. They're getting Amazon is notorious for very healthy severance packages where it's probably 3 to 6 months of your actual salary. So 6 months of a $600,000 salary and you're looking for a job and you get paid $300,000 for 6 months. This is basically just Amazon trying to cost cut aggressively because they realized they kind of got their hand caught in the cookie jar of basically there was too much bloat. There's too much bloat. We see this a lot with tech companies. Salaries get too high. The same thing happens with Google. People ramp up really aggressively within all the levels at Google. Also, same with Facebook. And then eventually these people are just too expensive to maintain because you also have to give them RSUs on top of all of that. So every quarter, they're also getting fresh Amazon shares. They're getting fresh Meta shares. They're getting fresh Google shares. And eventually, a conversation needs to be had where you say, hey, man, P&L doesn't work anymore. We need to figure this out. And these types of decisions take place. I think right now, people are saying it's AI. I had this take before. They're saying it's AI because they want the stock to go up and to the right. But they can't admit the fact that it's a little too bloated right now.
So maybe what's happening is a la what happened with Block and Jack just a few weeks ago. AI is a great excuse. Maybe
Great
it's
excuse.
not even necessary at this point, but regardless, bloat, layoffs necessary, etc. Stock goes up. Everybody loves that. I did check. I did check Grok here on this one. Grok says that these are the layoffs from January, so just another 16K. Not the case. He also said can't confirm because of the insider sources, cannot confirm additional planned layoffs for Q2. But interesting nonetheless, especially on what offshore teams with the right kind of AI tools and processes in place from former teams can put into place. I just kind of think that this is the natural effect in the oncoming and largely current AI
Yeah.
era and the globalized era, in which, man, you can find smart, tech savvy, smart workers anywhere in the world. There may just only be more of this, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could also do some public math if you want on the total number times 600,000 and see how much Amazon is now getting back onto the P&L just from these layoffs. Because that's a
I
really interesting thing.
I try not to do public math.
Me
because
neither. Maybe you can do it because I don't want to do it.
I try not to do public math. What Tech Layoff Tracker is saying is that 280 million in salary savings this quarter alone. That seems like a lot.
280. So then, wow. Whoa. That's a 280?
You know, that's a
280 million?
that's a heavy P&L plus.
So they're saving
Um,
over $1 billion a year by doing this?
that's what he says. That's what he or she.
Whoa.
That's what
That's
they're
crazy.
reporting
I
there.
mean, that's worth noting. I think that's worth noting.
Yeah, it's significant. It's
It's
significant.
significant. That's significant amount of money.
And nobody likes it. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I think this is part of, I don't think it's all, but I think it's part of the messaging problem for AI generally inside of, you could call it the West, but I'll just talk America specifically, is that a lot of the messaging is all around efficiency. It's like what AI can do, but the actual net effect for American workers is like, great, now we can do all of this with less of you. And so there's some of this messaging from a really high level. I mean, honestly, it needs to be worked on. I don't know that I am necessarily the communication expert that needs to help them form whatever large scale propaganda needs to be launched in this way for the
Yeah.
majority of Americans. But it is a problem. It is a
Yeah.
problem. I don't know how they're going to solve it. Maybe they just don't, but not
Andrew
good.
Yang Andrew Yang proposed today that you should be basically taxing AI
I saw
for the
that.
UBI
Yeah,
for humans, which is
I
a
saw
really
that.
interesting take and angle for all of this.
Yeah.
It's worth noting.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I think when Andrew Yang proposed UBI several years ago, it was just like, Americans, we just didn't get it. But
Yeah.
if we trod forward into a future where, 20%, 15,
Yeah.
20%, maybe a third of
This guy was on the
workers
money.
end up displaced, well, then there's going to be a real outcry for, hey,
Yeah.
how do we leverage all of these up and to the rights of what's
Yeah.
happening for a certain sector of the economy, and how do we leverage it for the benefit of the rest of society? I think it will become a real question.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very interesting to say the least. Fabletics has launched what I think is one of the most interesting new categories, collections that I couldn't have thought of. I would not have recommended this if I were on their marketing team, but maybe you can talk me out of it. Okay. Fabletics debuts a denim collection for men and women on the back, okay, of a reported 1 million of their VIP
Great.
members specifically requesting denim from Fabletics. And with this collection, I'm reading a quote now from their chief merchandising and design officer, We've made very intentional decisions surrounding fit, silhouette, fabric, and style to deliver exactly what these VIP members know and love about Fabletics, reimagined in classic denim. Let me give you a few more details and see if you can talk me out of my predisposed stance to not necessarily like this. Okay, let me give you two more deets. Denim is one of those fabrics where every detail matters. And I've spent my career focused on getting it right, said Smith in a statement. What makes this collection with Fabletics special is the level of quality and style we were able to deliver at this price point. It's something you don't usually see. Think about that price point. We also put a huge amount of work into fit testing across the full size range. Instead of simply scaling one pattern up and down, Fabletics is the first brand I've ever worked with to tailor every piece in the collection individually so that it delivers the best possible fit for every size and every body. Okay, let me give you just a little bit more. All right. I'm going to hit on price point again. This is coming from the president and COO here. Even as we've done other category expansions, that is the core principle. The core principle is the intersection of fashion, quality, and value. That's the core principle that we brought into all of it. And I think this is what differentiates us. We can offer that fashion, fit, and incredible quality, but at a really great value. And they're doing this to transition from athleisure into lifewear. Okay, now, having heard that price point, value, quality, having heard that several times throughout this article and reading, what would you guess these jeans are priced at?
$40.
I thought you would. They are not priced at $40. Okay. They are not. Okay. Let me read to you the prices. Ranging in prices from $79.95 to $119.95 for Fabletics VIP members. That's the VIP price.
Oh,
and
my God.
And $109.95 to $174.95 for non-VIP members. The collection debuts online and in select stores beginning March 12th, and Fabletics will hold special events at its Central City and Flatiron District flagship stores. Now, when I saw that price, I was like, where's the value? Where is the value? I'm like, hey, if you can give me 40, 50 bucks, like, yeah, I mean, that sounds good. But we're talking about literally 2, 3, almost 4 times, actually literally 4 times that price point for non-members of their VIP club. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is a totally new non-athleisure. It's outside of their core identity and product collection. Okay, they're launching denim. Okay, but you're going to give me the same value, right? No, actually, we're going to charge you 3, 4 times more than what you expect to pay. I don't get this. I don't get it.
You hate it.
I do. It's like, if you can deliver this for me, like, I get it. Stretchy. Okay, it's stretchy. And it fits great. And okay, you want to launch denim?
Yeah.
It's probably stretchy and new cut and whatever. Can you give it to me for a good deal? Nay. Nay. It's going to cost you at least 1 Benjamin and maybe 2 to get a pair. Okay, what's your thoughts?
I absolutely love it.
No!
I love it so much. There's multiple reasons why I love this so much. The first reason, one of the biggest reasons, is the fact that they pre-vetted their community for this. All of their community has been asking specifically for denim. So they have all of this data. They already have a bunch of, potential customers that they can push this into. Another great example of a company that transitioned from athleisure to more formal wear is a little brand called Lululemon. Initially, they were just leggings. Their entire focus was just leggings. They realized, hey, we can't just be just leggings. We have to expand this into, outdoor wear. We have to expand this into polos. We have to expand this into like all of the wear. So they cover everything now. They do men's and women's, all the stuff. Great example as well is a little stretchy jean company called Muggsy Jeans has been on an absolute tear right now. And so I think Fabletics has seen that, they're perceiving that, and they're saying, we already have the demographic we can go after, and basically just copy this idea and scale it up and to the right. The fourth example of the price point, I love this price point. Fabletics has an optics problem right now. They're perceived as lesser quality than Lululemon. They're perceived as the cheap option out of all of their counterparts. By pushing this up and to the right for a higher price point, they're trying to move themselves up the market to a more perceived higher quality item. Final point that I have for why this is amazing. There is a push away right now from synthetic fibers and microplastics, as you would for the Lululemon leggings and all of that, to more natural fabrics. We just had Natty, founder, on Tyrell. He's making all of his, clothing and materials natural fabrics, no synthetic. And so a shift from synthetic plastic clothing to real denim and real clothing, they're following a lot of trends right now.
I am not convinced. Nay, what? I am not convinced. No.
Like 6 points.
No, not convinced.
What?
Not
That's
convinced.
crazy.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Oh
Because bro, their entire brand is built on the ad that we've all seen. Hey, get 4 pairs of shorts for $20. Become a member.
Exactly.
It's like that's their whole shtick. That's their whole.
But that's
shtick.
what they're trying to move away from.
And I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do that, you don't like season all of your marketing here for these denim jeans with value. You don't do that. You don't do that. You gotta say like, hey, this is the best quality material we've ever produced. That's why it costs 4 times more. This is justified because of how awesome this is. Look at how awesome this is. Like that's the route you got to go. That's the route you got to go. And I don't know. I don't know if they can pivot away from like, hey, we are like so cheap. Look, this is like the best offer. I won't get into why certain yoga pants ads perform well, but I think it's pretty obvious. Okay, there's actually studies behind this. If you put a nice looking pair of yoga performance pants on we'll call them an ideal model that is turned around and facing backward, and then you put a heavy discount, actually CTC, Common Thread Collective, has a whole study on this because they used to sell yoga pants for one of their clients. If you do that and you put a heavy discount, guess what? Things perform well. That's what Fabletics is used to. That's what they're used to.
They can do the same thing for the jeans.
Yeah, but
they can do the same thing.
Not with the shtick of look at how cheap these are. They're only $170.
Totally. But the same.
It just doesn't work.
You could still do the same optics, though.
We'll see. We'll see if they pull it off. We'll see if they pull it off. I think it's a nice thought. I think it totally makes sense. Everybody wants to expand outside of their core shtick and audience and hero product. But sometimes I just wonder, like, actually, why not just stick to it? Why not just stick to it and like, just like bump the haters. Bump the people hating on microplastics and yoga pants. Just like actually just double down. Actually, our yoga pants are more awesome than everybody else's. It's a thought. It's a thought.
Yeah. We need to have on this show a shot caller scorecard of our takes when we disagree on something. We throw it up on the board and then we go and look at it 6 months from now and see what's going on.
That's right. We should.
And publicly, we put the shot caller scorecard.
It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile. We should do that. And I'm game. I'm down.
I'm game. I'm super down.
I just don't want to be responsible for actually tracking that. But I'm down. I'm down. I want. Okay. We can AI it. I'm sure we can Claude code that.
Yeah.
Sort through all of the transcripts and get the shot calls. And
nice.
We can do that.
Let's go.
We can do that. Before we move to our next story and forthcoming guest, Jay Castillo from Cal AI, we need to talk about Seguno. Seguno, ladies and gentlemen, is the only marketing platform that is built entirely inside of Shopify. What's that mean? That means your email, your pop-ups, your banners, your reviews, it all lives right there in the place and space that you work and play every day. That's important because it means you don't have to rely on a duct taped together data integration that is hopefully verifiably syncing your data back and forth. Not synced, not integrated. Your Shopify data is your email data. This is email 3.0. Okay. And this is why they won 2024 Shopify Build App of the Year. If you don't have a full-time email marketing member on your team, Seguno was built for you, for lean teams with big aspirations, one-click automations, actual humans who can help you. If you go to Seguno.com, they will give you a free trial. If you tell them Colin I sent you, they will extend that free trial to 30 days. Go to Seguno.com. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, Colin, before Jake comes in here, I think that we should just hit this story at least quickly. TJX, off-price retail giant, is on a buying spree. They are aggressively hunting all of the discounted, has not sold inventory that they are discovering everybody has overbought for brands across our space, and they are hungry, baby. They are buying it up, and they see everything that's happening in the economy as structural tailwinds for everything that they already do know and love, and they are seeing booms. And this is a trend that we have seen across the news for several weeks and months here. Ross, Goodwill, TJX, which owns TJ Maxx and other stores, they are on a spree. I want to read some of this to you because I find it fascinating. They are hunting. The off-price giant is benefiting from a steady supply of off-price goods. These are the retail trends pushing products into the channel. If you talk with CEO Ernie Herman of TJX Companies about the availability of quality off-price merchandise, he'll likely hit you with some kind of superlative: terrific, outstanding, exceptional. He deployed all of these in the company's most recent earnings call to emphasize that the getting is good right now when it comes to product availability. Of course, they own TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods. This has become a repository for excess inventory. What's your take on this? I mean, we see this again and again. My question is there a way for e-com operators to step in and benefit from this? I know we look down generally on reselling. It's often a trope inside of our space, but it seems to me like there's significant opportunity here that somebody needs to find a way to make a bag on this. There's value to be had on the lower end of the selling spectrum. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, TJX should take 10% of this supply that they're buying and put it into a massive warehouse, and then just have 15 people live on whatnot, and
Yes.
just pump all of that out and see the conversion rate compared to the other 90%. I mean, that's how I would approach it. And maybe you do a little bit of TikTok shop live and rock that way, but you could do whatnot pretty easily.
There is a sweaty D2C nitty gritty operator out there, a marketer who has been overlooked somewhere in the organization that can find a way to go and buy this
Bulk.
said stock in bulk and crush on whatnot.
Yeah.
I really believe
completely
that.
agree.
I
Yeah.
want to see that happen. I'm tempted to do it myself.
I think you also probably have to buy bigger than just the Amazon pallets, is how I would approach it. You'd have to get, I would say, maybe 10 or 15 of those Amazon pallets where you have a true inventory and you're just going live and whatnot it out, and have this kind of fulfillment center that you have, like we covered with the guy with the storage container. You have a true fulfillment center. You're printing out shipping labels, all of that.
Well, I want to see it happen. And I'm glad that we trumpeted the call again. We have a very young, bright killer and crusher inside of the interwebs who is coming inside the show. I'm talking about the founder of Cal AI, who has been just finding ways to grow his app and business to the moon, such that it recently got acquired from MyFitnessPal. I'm talking about the one and only Jake Castillo. Jake, get in here. Get in here, Jake.
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Happy to be here.
Let's go, brother. We've been waiting to get you in here, man. You know, Jake, I would say, you know, and forgive me if this comes off as you know, like we're heating you up a little bit. But brother, you've been everywhere. You've been all over the internet. You are like the teenage phenom who's been coming up since you were 14 and growing your business to the moon. And man, now you've had this incredible experience of getting acquired here. Brother, how did you grow Cal AI so fast without raising a dollar? Man, what did that look like? What were you doing in your daily to make this thing go up and to the right and to the moon?
Yeah. So at the start, it was a lot of work. It was like 20-hour days for probably like 10, 12 months. And our primary like distribution strategy was just through influencers, because that allowed us to get a massive amount of views at a pretty cheap CPM. So every day I was just like on the phone with influencers, signing new people, reviewing their content, getting it out. Yeah, at one point we had over like 300 influencers creating content for us.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And like every post needed to be reviewed. And yeah, like each post, like on average, like was getting 100, 200,000 views. So
whoa.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
Yeah. So, because a lot of people, they think when we talk like influencers, they're thinking like UGC content. Like that's not what we're doing. We're working with like established influencers and piggybacking off their existing audience. Because the UGC video, it's a crapshoot whether or not it's going to get views. But an influencer video, they've already got an established audience. So you're guaranteed a certain number of views depending on that influencer's following.
Wow. Are you also taking the control and putting together the script beforehand? Is it a blank script you're giving to everybody? Is it personalized one-on-one based on the influencer? How are you approaching this?
Yeah. So one, we have kind of a unique approach to this, because first and foremost, we are not creators, right? These influencers built their following because they're great at what they do. And it would be foolish of me to tell them how to do it, right?
Wow,
like
sure.
I don't have a following, they do. So like let them cook. So we gave them almost full creative control. We just had like a couple not even talking points, a couple things they had to do within their Cal AI sponsored videos.
Yeah.
And as long as they hit on those points, they could do whatever they wanted. And when I say like those points, like very simple, it's just, we needed to show the app working in use. And other than that, they had free reign.
Wow. That's awesome. I think that's so cool, because I hear so many programs where brands will reach out and they'll just be like, this is our rigid script. And it's like, well, why are you reaching out with an influencer? They know a little bit more than you. And you're just basically forcing the, round peg into a square hole. It doesn't really make sense for virality's sake.
100%. And it's going to be pretty jarring to that influencer's audience if they're go into their favorite influencer's video and suddenly the content is way different than anything they did before. So that wouldn't lend itself well to virality or a high converting video. And on top of that, it's just not scalable. If I'm having to script 4 videos a month for all of our influencers and we have 300 influencers, there's just no time. And like, I would be spending all my time on that rather than finding the next great influencer to work with.
Wow. I want to touch on something a little bit more personal too. You shared your bank account balance from 15 months ago.
You did. You did.
What was it? It was like 58 cents.
$9.50. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, so this is crazy. And I think this is a testament to, one, your execution on all of this. Definitely. And this is a statement about the world that we live in today, where you can go in 15 months and basically go 0 to acquired.
It's bananas.
And you guys just did it with raw execution. That's crazy, because that obviously that tweet went crazy viral and people were like, I'm sure it's probably a little bit better now after the acquisition.
Yeah. It is a little better now.
Nice.
It was a crazy time because like we were making money, right? Like CalAI was profitable from day one, but we just reinvested everything into the business and like didn't spare any dollars, everything into the business. And ultimately that's what allowed us to scale so fast, because like if we took payments for ourselves, that may have resulted in us not being able to afford the next big influencer.
Sure.
And every influencer, like it's just the ROI was so positive on it. It didn't make sense for us to take the short-term gratification of that money. And it's just delay.
That is wild, man. That is wild. So, you know, I know, Jake, that you're growing an app, you're growing software, you know, but I think a lot of people that spend their life, you know, in growth marketing with maybe a more traditional kind of D2C e-commerce play, they might just kind of throw this out the window. Oh, well, it's like software, it's a different game, et cetera. But there are so many things that you're saying right now that every marketer and founder inside of e-commerce needs to hear. Number one, they're the creator. They know better than me. They've got a massive audience. I don't. I mean, why put the constraints on? Hey, you know, I really didn't like the way that you showed the app there. Could you tweak it? You know,
this isn't on brand.
This isn't on brand for us. Could you change your shirt? You know, I mean, there's so many things inside of our space that happen like this, and it just slows this whole process down. And what I'm hearing from you is minimum requirements and speed, baby. More. We need more. We need more distribution, more creators. I mean, everybody needs to hear that. Is that fair, Colin? I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
I think like the faster, like with AI, everyone's always saying like, oh, the only moat is taste, or the only moat is one's opinion and like their vision. But I really think the only moat that we have today is speed. And the faster you can move, the more you're going to win. And there is a million CalAI competitors that they just couldn't move as fast as us, because, and that's why like they're probably not even on the App Store anymore. And we are where we are, which I think like today we're number 2 on the App Store.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. Speed is the moat. Boy, I love that. That's bars.
That's bars. Wow. So now you're officially a part of the MyFitnessPal team, and you'll be staying there for a little bit. Do you have any ideas on what you want to do next?
Yeah, it's a good question. Right now, the focus is still on CalAI. I love the product. I love the mission. And there's still so much more opportunity out there. If I go out to a restaurant and I see people like tracking their calories, most of them still don't know what CalAI is. And until that changes, I think the job's not done.
I love that. Job's not done, baby.
That's heat.
Now, tell me if this is true, Jake. I heard also in this speed distribution, you know, focused run that you guys have been on, a generational run. I mean, for yourself, and for those involved in the company. I heard that you guys were running like 12 plus TikTok accounts. Is that true? I mean, I don't know. And if it was true, man, why do that? Why is it advantageous to do that? You know, there's a lot of people inside our space that have the thought like, no, you just need like the one account. You got to make that happen. Give us perspective on the multiple accounts and the strategy behind that.
Yeah. So we had at one point over 20 accounts, one for all of our marketing assistants. And there's a couple of reasons behind that. First and foremost, if you're reaching out to like content creators, you're limited on how many messages you can send a day. So it's like create more accounts, right? And then you get like a fresh slate. Second, every time you post a video, you're like throwing a dart at the dartboard. Yeah. And you're just more likely to hit the bullseye if you take more throws. So it's like just post the videos on as many platforms, as many channels as possible, and you're bound to hit the bullseye eventually. And then all it takes is one viral video to, get you like $70,000 or $50,000 from that one video.
And I know, Colin, I know because of how you're wired, you love this right now. You love multiple accounts, multiple shots on goal, as many as we can. I know you're eating this up.
Yeah, for sure. I know. And I think, Jake, you've probably heard of Tabs Chocolate. They implemented a similar strategy where they would have basically 15 to 20 subdomain TikTok accounts that they would then be pushing out. And that was on the D2C side. Do you still think that playbook is a kind of quote unquote alive and well for e-commerce founders?
100%. So yeah, like fun fact, like my origin story, I worked with Oliver Mercado.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So like there's a ton of learnings that I got from him, mad respect to Oliver. Super grateful for everything he taught me along the way. But yes, I think absolutely, like everyone should be doing, because it's so low lift, right? Sure. It may, like you may only get like one viral hit a month or every 2 months, but like it doesn't cost you anything other than your time. But it doesn't take that much time, especially with like things like CloudBot and OpenClaw. Like you can just automate the whole process now.
Yeah. Wow. So, and then do you have a threshold too? We're talking viral, and I think a lot of people talk about this. Do you have a threshold where you're like, hey, once you hit this level of views and or likes, this is a seismic shift for the business? Do you have that type of kind of like ceiling where once you break through this, yes, it's a seismic shift, whether that's 100,000 views, it's 1 million views, it's 2 million, etc.
Are you saying like on an individual video basis? Like when
exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, anything over 1 million views and you're going to see your numbers exponentially increase. It's insane.
Wow. That's a great threshold to have. That's a great threshold to have.
And it's also nice for, entrepreneurs and founders to have a target. It's like, just got to get that 1 million view video, just get that 1 million views, and then I'm good. And it's like, it's not a matter of like, if, it's when, as long as you're taking the shots, and you're going to get it eventually.
Yeah. Wow. I think like that number one, it's a big number. it's a big number. It's a big number, but it's telling, it's signal like, hey, whatever your expectations are, 10,000, 100,000 need to go up. We got to get the first milli hit video. Also like kind of crazy, the like tree, the production tree that has come out of Oliver Mercado, man. It seems like there's so many people that have kind of come out of that tree of success. I would love, Jake, if you would give us some perspective for founder operators who have not gone through the acquisition process. Man, what was that like going through that bootstrapped? Man, any advice that you would have for people who want to see that or want to get there or are on the way?
Yeah, I think 2 things. One, be prepared. Like if you think you've worked hard up until this point, like you haven't seen anything until you've gone through an acquisition process. It is, like it was insane. I didn't sleep probably for like 2 weeks. Just but it's easy. You've got that light at the end of the tunnel. So you've got that like carrot dangling in front of you. That's pretty tantalizing. As for advice, make sure you have a really good lawyer on your side. Like that is not the time to skimp out and like try and budget your way through. Like invest in a good lawyer, and because there's just like so many, like a lot of documents, a lot of things that like you're not going to want to read. You may think you do, but you don't. Like after 10 days and 20-hour days of it, like you can't. And like you can upload them to ChatGPT, but like all it takes is like for it to miss one line, and that's like a huge difference in the deal.
Wow. Yeah. I mean that's really massive. I think Jake, you touched on that. I would echo that point as well. A lawyer in this moment is one of your biggest allies in the world. Do not skimp on that. And listen to everything he says. That's basically what I did, where I was like, I'm not the expert in this. You tell me whatever I need to do, man. Whatever you need from me, you let me know, because I'm going to get it to you as soon as possible. I think that's a great piece of advice.
Jake, having gone from very little in the bank account now to acquisition, and now, man, you're still running up Cal AI. I would expect you to be in the Bahamas on a boat
Yeah,
somewhere.
what are you doing? Take a vacation.
I mean, using Starlink or whatever, to keep things going. Man, where are you? What are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm just chilling in my house, just
All right.
chugging away. It is weird. Yeah, like it still hasn't fully hit me yet, like
Sure.
and I think hopefully it'll like I'll be able to like breathe soon and just like enjoy it, but like it still hasn't fully settled.
Are you going for a crazy purchase soon where you're like, I've been eyeing this thing for a while now, and I think I might reach my hand out and grab it?
Honestly, man, I'm like so simple. Like for me, like a crazy night is just like going to the movies and dinner with my fiance. Like other than that, like,
Let's go. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. That's a great answer for the fiance to hear as well. That's a great answer for the fiance. That's
maybe off air, I'll have a different answer for you guys.
Fiance's like hanging out like somewhere in the other room, or she's tuning in live. It's just, good answer.
They're always listening. Always
Starts the R8 up. He's like, yeah, let's rock and roll.
There's so many things here that are applicable to everybody inside of e-commerce, regardless of what widget they're selling, be it an app, be it software, be it service, be it, a physical product and kind of a traditional brand side. I love the principles that you brought out here. Speed is your moat. In the age of AI, there's so many things that just competitors can be spun up. And even if you're selling a physical product, maybe you can bring in Oliver on Bustum to get some of your competitors out of the way. But speed and distribution, that's the moat. And if you can run it faster than everybody else, you have got a real advantage on your hands. And Colin, this makes me want to start like 12 ecom cowboy accounts.
I'm ready. Yeah,
we need to open it all. We need to wire that thing up.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was thinking about it. Was you make 12 ecom accounts, you open claw it out, we give it sources and all of this stuff, and you start blasting influencers.
Man, we really appreciate you making the time. And I would say too, this can't escape me. The first point that you made out of your mouth, Jake, is something that the best influencer operators that we have had on this show have said, and you said it at the ripe old age of, how old are you, Jake?
So my co-founders are 18, 19, and 23. I look young, but I'm actually much older. I am 31. I just turned 31.
Bro, you are drinking from the fountain of youth, brother.
Yeah, dude. How are you doing that? I look horrible compared to
you. You're drinking from the fountain of youth, man. Well,
oh my gosh.
The first point that you made, and I know that, this isn't necessarily your expertise. You've got expertise in so many areas, but you've obviously developed the playbook for it here. And the first point that you made about cheap CPMs, you want to get good CPMs.
Huge.
You work with the biggest and best creators that are available to you, and you let them cook. Man, we have had so many people say that point again and again. CPMs, cheap CPMs. You got to work with creators, cheap CPMs, better than Meta, etc. That's the first thing that came out of your mouth.
100%. 100%. That's everything.
Wow.
Wow.
Man, we appreciate you making the time and coming on the show, brother. We're going to stay connected and follow the journey at Cal AI, and we look forward to having you back, man. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye.
I look terrible compared to him. What's going on?
Wow. Goated. Man, what they have done, I really love his take. Now, in 2026, it's speed, baby. Speed's the moat. Speed and distribution.
What's interesting, too, is we're starting to see these kind of like groups of operators that kind of all hang out and are kind of mingling and co-mingling and sharing ideas. And we're starting to see them kind of these cohorts that are kind of built out, where if you need somebody for aggressive scale, You know, you can kind of go into this cohort. If you need someone that's really applicable in finance, you can go into this cohort. And, you know, these are still super young guys that are just absolutely crushing it and willing to execute at such a high level.
I love Jake, man. You know, I'll say something too, and I'll, you know, kind of read out of my own book here. But one of the difficulties that I found when I first got into D2C e-com in a more concerted way, I was a little older. I'd already spent a decade, you know,
Yeah.
in my working life, you know, and I'd had my own brand. And so, you know, I kind of came into the room thinking, you know, like I know a few things, you know, like I've had my own brand, like I've been in the working world. Okay. But what I ended up finding out, and actually this happened with Postscript particularly, I was in this Zoom chat with 3 other 20 somethings. I'm in my early to mid 30s probably at this point. I'm probably 33 or 34 or something like that. And they're telling me how I should do SMS marketing. And I'm just like, why should I listen to you? Like, you know,
Yeah.
and then somewhere mid conversation, I had an aha moment. Okay. And I just decided, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. They got all the data. Like, why
Yeah.
don't I just humble myself and listen to
Yeah.
them and just do
Yeah.
what they say?
Yeah.
And this has benefited me so much. And I'm repeating this in context with Jake because Jake's co-founders are literal teenagers. Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had that thought, like, oh, you know, these guys are so young. Why would I partner with them? I need to quote a real operator. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
But he had the right mindset.
Yeah.
And man, look at where he is now and look at what they have accomplished together. And I will say, most definitely, many of the best lessons that I have learned in marketing have all come from people who are younger than me, who have less
Interesting.
experience than me. I mean, it's just the case.
Yeah.
It's just the case. You know, I have preconceived notions. I interacted with the internet initially in one way. And, you know, if I can just kind of get out of my own predispositions and just open up and listen, actually, I may learn more. I may learn more from the person who's younger and up and coming than I have to offer them. It's really the case. It's really the
Yeah.
case. And I think Jake is a stellar example of this, of
Yeah.
partnering with people who are significantly younger than him and winning together. I love this.
Absolutely. It reminds me also of when we had Johnny on the show. And Johnny's a very
Exactly.
humble man where he just says, I don't know it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to test it out. I don't know what I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
just going to keep trying these things. Somebody I think is probably better at this than me. I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to implement them. I'm going to try to put this playbook together. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And obviously you see the success Johnny Hickey has had. He's running $100 million brand. It's no small feat.
No small feat.
Yeah.
No small feat for sure. Well, before Andrew Foxwell comes, and I did get him the link. I did.
Ooh,
I got him the link. I sent it
let's
over. I
go.
sent it over Twitter. I sent it in the email. Okay, I sent it in the email. Attached it there. So Andrew Foxwell, we believe that he will be coming very soon in 5 minutes. But before we get there, let's talk about Postscript, ladies and gentlemen. You know, focus is an amazing thing. When one focuses, you can get outsized results. And that's what happens with Postscript and SMS marketing. It's all they do. And it's all they focus on every day and in every way. And that's why when people make the switch and use their AI shopper and the new tech that they have rolling out to take full advantage of conversational data, which is the new oil in our age, that's why people see such a significant revenue increase, because this is all they do all day, every day. They're the only SMS partner that I know who will endeavor to make SMS your number one revenue generator. We're going to have CMO Mike come on the show very soon and tell us about their new conversational report. For now, if you go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, you're going to get great data on my vertical, my revenue band. What should we be making from SMS? How can I get up and to the right? Go and work with Postscript. Tell them Colin and I sent you. Many thanks for Postscript being part of the show. Next, it looks like Andrew is here. It looks like Andrew is here. And the good news is that he's a little early, which that just gives us a little more time on the backside before he comes. I just want to zhuzh this thing up a little bit. One of the only constants that everyone agrees on in ecom, there are only a few things. Okay. It's like death, taxes, and like rising ad costs. But another one is that Foxwell founders is incredible. I hear it all the time. All of the time. Okay. This guy, he is an OG in D2C paid advertising. He's worked with like bigger names than you even thought existed, basically. Okay. And now, in addition to Foxwell Digital, they have this 500 plus person community of founders, brand side, agency side, et cetera, that the internet cannot help but rave about. Foxwell recently released the 2026 State of Agencies report. We got to bring him in here and talk about it. Everyone, welcome to the show, Andrew Foxwell. Andrew, get in here.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
We are on here. I love it. I love the energy of this. I am stoked. We are on the show. We are talking about e-commerce. We're talking about marketing surveys. What a build-up, too.
Yeah, baby. Oh, hey, it was only a matter of time before we got
it's funny. Here's a funny note. I have a friend who does kayak tours. I live in Santa Barbara, California. I have a friend who does kayak tours in the Channel Islands, which are a national park outside.
Beautiful.
And he texted me this morning. He goes, yesterday, all day, I gave a kayak tour to Matthew McConaughey.
Did he really?
And I was like, all right. Obviously, that's what I expected. But that's what he's doing. So I was like, what? So I was trying to bring that energy in.
Yeah, you brought it,
very
brother.
cool energy.
Yeah.
Cool
Here we are.
Man, I am so glad that you are here, and I have known you from afar for some time, but this is the first time for us to officially interact, which I'm very happy that it is taking place now. Man, you released the State of Agencies report, which I really appreciate. I don't know why, Andrew, but it does happen. There's kind of this like aura about, agencies. They're like the dark side of the force, they're kind of on the dark side of everything that we do. But I appreciate, man. I appreciate, you bringing this to light and also being an advocate in a good way for agencies. And the biggest thing that stood out to me, just from first blush, is the number one challenge right now for agencies, that being pipeline lead flow. And the number one way for people to still get leads is word of mouth. It's just positive word of mouth. And my wonder when I saw that, I feel like this is the always problem. I feel like this is always the case. And why has AI like not made this a no-brainer now, where everybody can have all the leads? Just give me your perspective on that still being the number one challenge.
I mean, I think what happens is a lot of these agency owners come in and they have built a business on referrals, and everybody likes that, and they have let's say some couple of people that then keep referring them to their friends, and then they look at it and they have 3-4 employees or 5 employees. Or a guy I talked to yesterday, I do a lot of agency coaching as well with members. He has 14 employees looking to grow, right? And he's like, I need a system. And so his number one issue is lead flow, because he needs to, he wants to bring on, largely stateside talent, which is great. He lives in Texas and he wants to grow this thing.
Yeah.
And everybody has it. I mean, it's like you need to have this constant lead flow. And if you look at those people that, let's say, aren't in that percentage of people that, lead flow is the number one issue, what's the difference between them? Predominantly, it's that there's some sort of lead connection. They have a connection into some holding company or a private equity that has a whole, you know what I mean? Like, or there's a connection into somebody that has those. That's like their person that like funnels everything towards them.
I see.
It's rare that you meet an agency that says, at least in the Foxwell founders, because we don't have a lot of people that do, it's funny enough, right? A lot of people that do ads on their own for their agency. A lot of our folks are doing great work, and the referrals keep coming, and then they want to grow and they've got to spool up a system. And that's done via a lot of ways. but it's rare that you'll have someone that'll be in the Foxwell founders and will be doing a paid ads funnel, for example, right? If you went into another community, like there's other communities out there for agency owners, common that their biggest thing is they're going to teach you how to run lead ads funnels and stuff like that. That's not our people necessarily. So I think ours probably skews high in terms of lead flow being the issue, because it's so many of these good people doing good work around the world. I mean, we represent 30 countries. We have members in 30 countries.
Crazy.
It's like they're doing good work around the world, and then they're like, oh yeah, I want to grow. Like, how do I grow this? And then they got to build a system. And we typically lean away from more of the paid stuff, which isn't bad. It can be good-ish, but it doesn't necessarily build as much of a long-term result for agencies that are of the ethos of the people that are the Foxwell founders.
Wow.
What do people do, Andrew? I mean, if we're leaning away from paid ads and deal flow, pipeline is the problem, what do we do?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at people that are successful that haven't done paid ad funnel type stuff, predominantly what they're doing is, let's talk about in the last year, they're doing a lot of things with content marketing. So, they themselves are out there, they're building great content that's useful to people. I have one guy that, they have, I don't even know how many people he work for him now, but let's say it's over 50. It's a lot of people. And, before he paid himself a salary, he hired 3 marketing people to be building content to put out, right? And they're putting out white papers, they're putting out content, they're putting out, videos, they're doing a podcast, they're doing a lot of
incredible.
They're bringing in prospective clients to interview, and then they're talking to people. I always tell the story, but I had this guy one time I knew, and he was an expert on innovation. And it was interesting. Like, he would be paid like $20,000 to go to IBM and talk about innovation, how they innovate in the department. And I asked him one time on a bike ride, I said, how do you stay on top of this? And he goes, oh, I just talk to like 10 people a week that do innovation.
All right. All right.
So this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, you're going to get leads. It's like, just bring on people that are doing the work, talk to them, get ideas from them, and then have this frictionless flywheel in terms of content. And you go out there and then you build authority. And that's what people are looking for ultimately. And I think a lot of, there is a lot of reason that agencies have a bad rap, because there's a lot of shitty people out there that, the model was built in certain ways that people got screwed, and rightfully so, so it's like, which isn't cool that happened. Like, rightfully so that education exists. So you have to go and, be conscious of that. And I think building authority and building content and going out and saying, look, this is what I do, this is who I am, is a big part of it. And then I think it's also, if you have an agency owner, I swear at the beginning of every agency owner call that I do, that's a coaching call, I always talk about The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, which I'm sure you guys have read. If you've never read this book, like, this is like a massive unlock for you, because all you have to do is you got to basically find this guy I talked to yesterday. I was coaching. He's building his agency in the outdoor space. Okay. So like in the outdoor space in digital, there's like 10, I'm sure that I don't even know. I'm guessing there's like 10 people. I mean, I used to run the paid ads for Sims, the fly fishing company, but there's like 10 people that's got to be important that like put out content on us. So you just need to like know those 10 people. And if it's worth it to you, or you can do it, like fly to all 10 of them and take them out to lunch. Like, why not?
Why not?
Like, I mean, and like put out some good content and be like, look, like, I'd love to take you to lunch. Like, nobody does that. People are always like, can I get on a Zoom meeting? Like, no, fuck a Zoom meeting. You don't need to get on a Zoom meeting. Like, show up at their door and be like,
get on a plane.
Like, I'm just saying, if you're like, this guy's single, no kids. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And so he was talking about starting a podcast. I was like, why don't you start a podcast and take all these people in the outdoor industry and put them in the woods and start a podcast? Like, it'd be sick. So he has an opportunity. He can do that. They have a video production arm of his agency. So the reason I say this is I think you can get creative and you can address it that way. And then you start to, get on their radar, and there's these tipping points, and then there's people everybody look to in our industry. We know there's like Cody Plofker is one of these people. He has been for a long time. There's Connor, there's the Connors, there's Sean, there's Dave Herman. Like, there's these people that you should talk to and you should know, and you just got to be on their radar. And one of the ways you get on the radar is producing good content that's meaningful and useful, so that they pay attention and can look at it moving forward.
Dig it.
Wow. Andrew, I think that, I say this in the most, respectful way possible. You are one of the most well-renowned people in our space. I have never heard a bad thing said about you ever. I've only heard
True.
amazing
True.
things said about you.
Wow, I appreciate that.
And so
That's good
I keep looking under rocks, and it's like, Andrew's really great. And it's like, I look under this rock, it's like, Andrew's amazing.
Man.
You should talk to him. And
Woo!
so I don't know what you're doing over there, but it's phenomenal. I'd love to just dive in a little bit. So you have the content piece of this. Does the channel matter a ton? And does the channel matter specifically for the agency type? How are you thinking about all of these channels moving forward? Obviously, everybody has LinkedIn, Twitter, there's newsletters. How are you thinking about it from, okay, amazing, we have some really awesome content. What's the distribution method?
Yeah, so I appreciate, I can answer that. And let me comment on the first thing, which is about the reputation thing, which I appreciate very much, because it's something that I really have gone and thought about a lot in my life, which is a consistency. And when I had a kid, my daughter's now 6, but I grew up, I'm the third kid in my family, and I grew up and I got by being a chameleon everywhere, where I would adapt who I was to that person. Okay. And when I had the kid, I was like, this isn't going to work. And so now I've really worked on the consistency of being just being who I am and leading with kindness as much as I possibly can, and trying to be the same person to everybody. Right. Yeah. And that is crazy what the compounding returns of that are. And so that's just one thing that I'll say, which is, I think reputation to me is really important, because there's so much that you need to be able to trust people in any business. Sure. And in our space, especially the internet, if people are like, I don't know what this is. Yeah. And so that's something that I've really worked on. And another thing that I used to be a press secretary in Congress. And one thing that my boss said to me at the time, who was the communications director, he said, everything you print or say or do, you have to understand could be on the front page of the newspaper. Wow. And I think about that a lot. And I think about that when I'm putting my kid to bed, or, what I'm saying to my wife, or what I'm saying to a buddy, just trying to be consistent and trying to be kind and be inquisitive. And so I appreciate that, because that's something that's really important to me. And I really try to take care of people and make sure that they are resourced, because we're all out here giving it our best. So in terms of the channel, I think obviously depends where people are
Sure.
and what the people are that you're trying to get in front of. This guy I was talking about, the outdoor guy, his outdoor marketers live a lot on YouTube, because the long form content is masked in the outdoor space. And that's really the idea. If you're a marketer in outdoor, if you are a marketing person at Patagonia, right? You've been producing long form documentaries about ultra runners, and by the way, they're wearing Patagonia. That's been the marketing strategy. So YouTube's massive for them. So he's doing a lot with YouTube. And so I think it depends,
Makes sense.
of where you want to get, how you want to go for it. If I were to go prescriptively across and say agency owners, you're trying to get in front of e-commerce brands, and you're trying to build content that gets in front of e-commerce brands. I think one is you have to have, there's got to be some angle to it. It can't just be another agency newsletter. Mm-hmm. And so, you look at, there's this guy, Will Sartorius, who's a member of the Foxwell founders. He's doing a ton with AI, and Will's AI newsletter is mentally good, by the way, if you're not on it. And, Will has a company called Selfmade, which makes creative and does a lot of other stuff. But that newsletter is so good because it's niche, and it's making creative for performance marketers with AI and tools you need to be able to try. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
It's total riches in the niches type thing. So the more that you can get that, the better off you're going to be. So newsletters can be useful if they're that way. Right. And social channels can be useful. It depends. It just depends on where people are. Predominantly agency owners try to go on a lot of channels, I think, sometimes. And I think really what you need to do is understand just where the core customer is hanging out, where the e-com folks, where the e-com brand owners are that are there. A lot of people try to go on supplements. So, this friend of mine, he's been doing a ton with GLP-1 brands, and that's a very specific niche, right? And you have to get good at that as agency side. And he found out that there was basically these mini conferences that were taking place for these GLP-1 brands that he didn't even know about once he got into it. And so he started to sponsor stuff. He started to get in front of them. He's speaking, and now it's blown up, and now it's like their specialty. So it's like there's a place, or there's like a text chain that these people kind of like communicate through, right? And then you just kind of like find one, and then you find out. Like one of my best friends is Zach Stuck. By the way, congratulations on HOMESTEAD.
Congrats to Zach.
But Zach, so Zach's coming to Santa Barbara, bringing his family next week, and I'm excited to spend the week with him. But he, like, for him, he's got these guys that are guys and gals that are were agency owners, many of them, or like are in this, like, they're performance marketers, and then like, oh, now they have brands. And so there's like this whole group chat that they're all on. It's like, okay, so how do you get into that? How do you get like one person? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the things you kind of got to develop and think about. Hopefully that answers your question.
Smart.
It's different for everyone.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
One thing from the report that stuck out to me, Andrew, was primary reason for clients leaving. And number one here, inside from what I saw, I think it's at 29%. Number one was people bringing things in the house, hiring persons to replace. Number one, that's shocking to me, because many times when I've seen that happen, it does not go very well. That's and maybe I'm biased. Maybe I've got a certain sample size that isn't fair and appropriate. But number two, the reason for bad performance, leaving for bad performance, was way down there, much lower than I expected. Only like 16-ish%.
Yeah.
That is like the common trope, is like, people cannot find, I just need an agency to do good for me. Surely one exists. I've gone through 5. Why can't I find anybody that does well? I mean, were those results shocking for you? They were surprising for me. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, yes and no, but a lot of it was surprising, honestly. I think the one is, I think, again, because the Foxwell founders are a really great group of advertisers generally, and 60% of our group, about 65% is agencies and agency employees, and then the rest is all people in-house at brands or brand owners. Okay, and so there definitely is a trend of insourcing and in-housing, and I think that that's true, and people believe that they can have a better person, that's dedicated to it. And they don't like that if an agency is working on it, there could be other things that person is doing. Yeah. And they look at the agency fees as they start to scale, and, they say, yeah, look, so in terms of like, has it been successful? It very much depends on what you're looking at. I think that many times brand owners that try to insource or in-house, we'll just call it in-housing instead of, so I don't say both things. They have the wrong playbook or expectation around what it takes to keep that person resourced so they can grow and do what's necessary in the accounts. Yeah. So they almost build an insular world around them and it should be the inverse. It should be like, this person, if they're in-house, if they're a Connor Rolane, for example, has to be constantly thinking and testing and iterating. And like, that's a huge part of the job, because to do this well, that's the competitive advantage of an agency. And what happens when they bring it in-house is it becomes much smaller. So yeah, I think that's something to say. And it is surprising. And I don't think it's wrong. I mean, I think brands can do this well. It's just a matter of like how they're resourcing the team and how they're taking care of their people, to understand that to do this well, you have to first understand nothing, Jon Snow. Like, you have to freaking you gotta just keep on it, because that's a huge part of it. And I think a lot of times when people go in-house as a growth director, they say, I'm the growth director now. You don't understand. Here I go. Look at me. Yeah. And it's like, that's fine. And I think taking ownership and leadership is big, but it's also understanding that there has to be a constant innovation to keep this stuff right. Because and that's why a lot of people that will come to the founders that are growth directors or whatever, or brand owners, and they'll say, oh yeah, I want to resource my person this way. So yeah. Anyway. Interesting. Very interesting.
So, I mean, taking leads aside, say, agency owner comes to you, hey, we got a great book of business, we're rocking and rolling. And he's saying, what is the number one thing I should be focused on in 2026? If you could only give me one thing, we got a great book of business, we got some great clients, we're rocking and rolling, we got a good agency, we got, 3, 5, maybe 8 employees. that we're cruising right along. What should I be focusing on as the agency owner myself?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is creative systems, right? So that's like, I would say that's the first thing without thinking about it too much. Another thing that comes to mind is like profitability, right? And making sure that you really know your business. People try to hire an agencies too often to like have, because it's growing, and so they hire, and then they're like, wait, I'm not making that much money. There isn't a lot of focus on that, as there is in any business. But let's talk about creative systems. Creative systems are really interesting because creative is obviously the way that you unlock growth in so much of D2C world now. So the more that you can understand and build the creative systems within your agency, and give people the freedom to think creatively, and also, unlock new personas for clients, that's going to be a massive lift for you. That's going to allow you to unlock performance for clients. A coaching client that I had this week was having a challenge because they have a person who's doing a position that's a growth strategist, and that person is pulling the levers on Meta, and that person is also communicating with the client and is also doing the creative briefing and creative strategy. And that's really challenging, obviously, to do long term. There is a creative strategist that they're working with occasionally, but that obviously that can't work, because so much of the lever now is on the creative. So I think the more that you can focus on and develop the creative systems and making sure that you're dialing those in, and iterating and testing, right, on everything from creative type to unlocking new avatars to persona development to looking at customer feedback and incorporating it in what you're doing with your ads. I mean, it's all this type of stuff. Like, how are you building that system, and what does that look like in your agency? I think is a huge one. That will, because that's going to solve a lot of other things. If you're able to go into client conversations and say, look, we can see that your net new reach is down because you haven't brought in new creative for a long time.
Yeah.
That's something that's really obviously going to make a big difference.
If you can walk in the door with a cracked creative system, that's going to go a long way. That's going to go a long way. In this
Absolutely.
Man, we really appreciate you making the time and coming on here, Andrew. But you cannot leave ever. No, I'm kidding. You cannot leave until you tell us why people love Foxwell Founders so much. Because I hear it raved about all the time, and I've heard it raved about for years. And just tell us about it. What is it? What happens there? I think there are some IRL gatherings. I think there are, but man, tell us why people love this thing so much.
Yeah. So Foxwell Founders was born 5 years ago at this June, and in the attic of my old house. And it was born because I really felt lonely in the work that I was doing. And I felt like there was an opportunity for me to connect a lot of the people that I was chatting to via text or a private Slack group on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And so that's where, that came about. So where it's manifested today, essentially what it is it's multiple content databases. It's 5 to 10 calls a week on different topics.
Wow.
It's, and then it's the Slack group, and then it's in-person meetings. And then there's other things like, we have an AI bot that surfaces content, and is refreshed daily from what's been happening. So that's a big, that's a kind of what that is now. So, it's 550 members, 30 countries. We spend $500 million a month just on Meta.
Crazy.
We spend collectively $1 billion a month on Google, Facebook. So we predominantly talk about Facebook, obviously Meta, Google. We talk about TikTok a little bit. We talk about CRO. Every member gets an audit every month on their accounts. So really what it is it lives differently for everyone. I would say for those, there's a segment of people that are in there every day. And there's, every week we have, out of the 550, every week there's 280 active roughly. So like there's some people that are in there all the time. Then there's a group of people that look at it once a week, look at the weekly recap, and they'll be like, oh, because they get a weekly recap of what's been going on, and they'll check through and read the threads and say, okay, that's cool. And then they'll message me back. Like, hey, that's cool. Check this out. I'm looking for this. I'm dealing with this. And then, there's a group of people that love it and use it for the in-person meetings. So we do these meetings. quarterly around the world. Actually, 2 weeks from today is the start of our one in Lisbon. We have 75 members from Lisbon. I rented a palace.
Let's go.
Rented a palace. Yes.
Wow.
Which is turning out to be just it's anyway. It's insane. Planning events in Europe is insane. As an American, I mean, look, I love Europe. Shout out to Europe. All right. Like as an American, I'm like, why are you not getting back to me? Like, what is happening?
So casual.
Like, I was like, are you at the beach? Like, I am working. All right. Like, I know we need to relax a little bit, but anyway. Yeah. But no, so it's been so it lives differently for everybody. Everybody uses it a little bit differently. Some people just use it for coaching with me. You know, I have an outsourced community management. I'm in there, and I have a team that supports me. It works with me. We have a director of basically member success and education, and we have an operations director. But like, I'm in there talking to people, and I wake up every day to like 30 DMs minimum, like of like, hey, what's this? Hey, can I talk about this? Can I talk about this? So it's really fun. And really what it is on a day-to-day basis is it's a place where you can safely ask anything you want to about what's going on. You know, it's a technical error. Have you seen this? I'm thinking about this way in terms of a rebuild. I've got this. Does it make sense? You know, I've got, you know, it's a whole bunch of different stuff like that. That is a place where people can come and get advice and connect, you know. And I mean, the crazy statistic is there's like some crazy, I mean, I have to look at the analytics. We just got a new analytics thing, but like a month ago, it was averaging that there was 400 DMs every week being sent between members.
Wow.
So there's like a ton of just like back channeling of like, oh, I'm in here because you know, some of these legends like Rock or Phil Keel or, you know, people that I'm sure have been on the show. And so, you know, you're able to message them and say, hey, what do you think about this? Have you seen this? That kind of thing. And their answer, because that's sort of this idea is like, you're in it and you're also, you know, you give and you get. Yeah. As part of it. So that's really what it is. You know, if you're an online marketer and you're looking for a home that feels good, you can apply foxwellfounders.com. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. We have an 88.5 net promoter score. So my whole thing was when we were into it 1 year, I said, I'm not going to build this unless we build the absolute best. And so I've tried to like have the mentality. I went and studied like Bentley and Ritz-Carlton and, you know, all these sort of like luxury hotel groups, LVMH, and like what they do and what they did for customers. And we've tried to have that. Like we had a member who had something happen health related wise, and we sent a chef to his house to make him food. Wow. Like that's the kind of stuff that, and he's given a lot in the community, but like, that's the kind of stuff that we do as well, to just take care of folks. And we just started a program this year where every member gets to be entered into a drawing. I'll fly them to Santa Barbara from wherever they are in the world, and we hang out for a couple of days. So it's just fun. I mean, it's just like, it's fun to do. It's like it's a real, when these in-person meetups are funny, they're like a family reunion. Yeah. It seems you know, because everyone's like really into it. And and then we curated hardcore. Like there's no pitching, there's no crappy drop shipping stuff. There's, you know, it's good. It's good because we take care of people and we genuinely care. And I think people know that. And because of that, we get into really crazy personal conversations too with people. People message me like, hey, I've got this issue with personnel, got this issue going on in my business. I'm really scared. I had a member message me a couple weeks ago, or it was a month ago, about, hey, you know, things are really rough. I don't know what I did. The profitability is way down. We lost a bunch of clients. Like, where do I go? And I was like, all right, so here's some options. Like, that's okay. Like, I've been at the bottom. Like, I mean, when we had our agency, when it was the height, like I fired our entire.
I lost him.
I was like so burnt out. Like, I knew that if I had to start over. So anyway.
Wow.
That transparency is big.
I mean, that rings so many bells, and it sounds like you have developed the Rolls Royce, the Bentley of ecom communities, man. And I mean, that totally makes sense. Wow. So robust. I didn't know 5-10 calls per week. That's crazy, man. That's incredible.
Yeah. We yesterday had 3 calls just on Claude, and then Claude was down. was like, all right,
That's awesome.
we'll just
Great
go ahead,
timing.
we'll go ahead and reschedule those little babies, and we're gonna put those next week.
That's awesome.
But you know, I mean,
That's
best
awesome.
intentions. But like, yeah, we have like, it's crazy. Like there's like a women in ecom channel. I'm not even in the channel. Like I'm not
Wow.
allowed to be in it. And there's like they chat. They have their own calls. There's brand owners that have their own calls. We have a call tomorrow that's we have a verified agency channel that after a while you're in there. I get to look at your accounts and can say like, you know what, you're legit. And I review things, and then you get added to this. And so we have a off the record call with them, non-recorded, where they're all talking about their internal creative systems at their agencies.
Incredible.
It's like little stuff too for like small spenders. You know, we have small spenders call that happens. So it's fun. I mean, it's supposed to be it's supposed to resource people as much as they possibly need to be taken care of, to be able to do your job and feel less alone.
Love it.
Wow.
Value on value. Andrew,
That's
man,
huge.
we appreciate you coming on the show and all that you do for the space. I think everybody needs to go apply. You may not get in, but everybody needs to go to foxwellfounders.com and see if they can. And then we appreciate the content and all that you put out here. And we look forward to having you back, brother.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I'll look forward to the next time.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. Take
World-class founder. World class,
man. Legend. Wow.
Legend.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
I want to get into that cool little verify channel. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, can I pay into it? Like, what's going on here? You can't, which is the crazy part. He's got to be cool.
He's got sauce too on the agency side, and how to operate and win trust and internal systems and everything that he was mentioning about, and, you know, finding that niche. What is that kind of internal chat group that's happening, and finding your way in there. And it's a lot of wisdom coming out there. Wow.
Yeah.
Before we hit our last couple of lightning round stories, we need to talk about AMP, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go back and talk about AMP here. You know, if you cannot explain how your business is doing in a sentence or two, I'm not sure you know how your business is doing. What are your key core metrics? Are they up and down, left and right? Your CAC, your LTV, how are you progressing toward forecast or not? That's why we love AMP and their favorite tool of mine, Lifetimely. In one place and space, all of these questions can be answered for you and for your entire team without having your data scattered everywhere and every which way inside of Google Sheets and the like. Good news is, if you use Lifetimely, you get all of the rest of their tools for free, which are all designed to add profit back in your pocket. And what they're doing with their AI and it prompting you, hey, this cohort, this product, this offer, we need to test this and roll this out. They're going to be rolling that version of their AI out very soon. We're going to have Patrick Warren, CEO, back on the show to talk about it. Go to useamp.com, get on that platform. Make it easy for yourself to scale in 2026. Don't you want to scale with confidence? Yeah, you do. Go to useamp.com. We appreciate them being part of the show. Lastly here, Colin, just a couple of quick hitters before we get out of here. Response to Buffalo Wild Wings and their wing flavored mini espresso. KFC had this to say yesterday. They referenced Dude Wipes. KFC did this. They said Dude Wipes just gonna let you guys handle this one, which I thought was very wise. And then Dude Wipes rolled up with not their Mini Cooper, but the Mini Pooper. That is a Mini Cooper with a poop emoji on top of the car, rolled up to Buffalo Wild Wings. I thought this was S-tier social media response in the now, on the moment. Very impressed. You?
I love it. Great move.
Love it. Great move. And sad to close out with this one, but Eddie Bauer did not find a buyer. And now they are closing all of said retail stores. KJP was not able to come through as we advocated for, and now they must close all of the said stores here by the end of the month, I believe.
Crazy good IP. Someone needs to scoop this up. This is unreal. I mean, I don't think you can anymore, but I mean, great IP someone could have scooped up.
It's like 170 retail stores, something like that they are closing.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
We'll get some Eddie Bauer.
Hey, yeah, go get it. Go get it while it's hot because it's on discount right now. Go find your local mall and go scoop it up. Actually, I should do that.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe they'll find a way to resurrect. Maybe somebody will get in there and go hardcore D2C again and
Yeah,
build
Tai
a
Lopez.
lasting brand. Yeah, maybe, maybe. I don't know if that's going to be his move, but great reference there.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. Many thanks to Jake Castillo from Cal AI joining the show, Andrew Foxwell for dropping legendary D2C sauce upon us, and many thanks to Incense, Seguno, Postscript, and AMP for making this show possible. Many thanks for you joining us. We will be back tomorrow, and we've got a triple header, another triple header coming tomorrow with absolute G's to join us. We will see you on the other side.